Am I in 8K or 1080p? How about now? Am I in 1080p or 8K? Can you tell? With the rise in camera quality comes an increased price tag, and we can all dream big when it comes to gear, but when you're starting out, is it really worth it? That's what I'm gonna find out today. In today's video, we want to see if you really need to put your hard-earned cash toward an 8K camera. How? We're going to show a group of people the same bit of footage filmed at different qualities, and we want them to guess which is which. They're going to be a range of people ranging from experts to the average viewer, and we want you at home to get involved too. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, give this video a preemptive thumbs up, and how about leaving a thumbs up in the comments below so we know you have subscribed. Now let's go and meet the teams. The experts. In this team, we have Joey, co-founder of Videos and professional videographer. He's captured countless amounts of quality footage over the years and even created courses on how to do so. So we have high hopes for Joey. The middleman. Here we have Tom, who is a video editor here at Videos. He sifts through all kinds of footage, day in and day out. When it's his turn to hold the camera, however, well, let's just hope you aren't prone to vertigo. But could his editing expertise come in as an advantage? We will find out. The viewer. This is where you come in. We'll be asking you and someone from our team with no video experience to see if they can spot the difference. So make sure you pause the video and let us know in the comments which one you think is which. Meet Ben, head of research and development here at Videos, and your standard average viewer.
Smashed it.
Thank you. Let the games begin. May the odds ever be in your favor. Too much? Yeah, a little bit too much. And I forgot to mention, the winner gets this.
Okay, so I'll watch the first one. I feel nervous about this really, because I feel like I should know, but let's see. The sound might actually put me off. Can I pause it? Am I allowed to pause it? I think this frame will give it away.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Am I allowed to have them on side by side? Yeah, like I'm basically looking at this close-up shot of my at 35 seconds. It's got a lot of details of the skin. So typically, if you have an 8K camera, you should pick up like every single marking of that skin, like in a lot of detail. But for some reason, they look the fucking same, so. Jesus, they do look the same. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think I have it. I think I know. I don't know if I know, but I'm gonna make a guess. Jesus, that's like really quite difficult. My brain told me if I get a shot that's got loads of small details, it will tell me straight away, like just by looking, but apparently it doesn't. Was it shot in 1080 and 8K, or was it exported in 1080 and 8K?
It was exported in different, yeah, correct. It wasn't exported in different. The reason being is because the timeline will not support like different versions.
Okay, well if it's like that, then I'll just make it bigger then, right? So I can just make the screen, I can make the video bigger and then compare the details. So the reason I'm making it bigger is because if the scene was shot in a higher frame rate using the full sensor of the camera, it's still gonna pick up all the small details. Like even though you're exporting it in a lower res, it's still gonna show you those details. But if it's exported in a lower res, then the difference you'll find is that if I'm watching the video on like if it's blowing up on a big screen, then the pixels won't be as sharp on the 1080 one. But the clarity on it are both really good. I'm probably taking much longer on this than than I should, but I don't want to get it wrong. I feel like the frustration 1 is the higher export. Like, I think that's the 8K export. I don't know. When you say that, it makes me feel like I'm doing it wrong. So yeah, I think I'll go frustration 1. I think that's 8K. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So I'm allowed to just open them and pause them and side by side. I mean, at first glance, they look identical, to be honest. I'll full screen them, see if that does any justice, but it's quite hard to tell if I'm completely honest. I'm just, on both videos, I'm just on the shot that I think is the closest shot, you know, the close-up, so it's the shot with the most detail, I suppose. So obviously, when you've got little fine things like hair and blemishes and stuff like that, usually, depending on the resolution, you might be able to tell a bit of a difference. Something might just be slightly more pixelated or slightly blurred. But I'll be honest, at a glance, even on I don't know what size screen's this, 27-inch, even just glancing at them both, it's very difficult to tell them apart. But yeah, I suppose it's just about looking at the details on the close-ups. That's probably what I'm gonna try rely on. Right, I think I have an idea. So there is some ungraded footage in as well, which I don't know if that could, if it's straight from the camera and it's.
It hasn't been fully graded, it has an RE 709.
Yeah.
So that one is slightly contrast increase.
Right. What I think's giving it away is just like that slight out of sharpness, if that makes sense. So obviously the 8K, is it? It's 8K. One, which I think is the 8K one, it's just very slightly sharper, but again, it's just on them close-up, really detailed shots. I think if I was to look at, you know, something quite wide, I'll be honest, I don't think anyone would really be able to tell on something super wide. But yeah, I have what I think's in mind. From them, I think it's number 2 is the 8K.
Okie dokie. The technical part of me is looking to see if I can see details like fingerprints and things like that. I don't think I'd be looking for that though if I was just observing the video. I feel like I saw a hair on the keyboard, was there?
You stop it now. There.
That's going to be a good point of reference, I think. Immediate impressions, like just on the first part before I've got to the hair on keyboard part, doesn't noticeably seem much different. And the hair on the keyboard's there on that one, and it looks pretty sharp as well. That's my point of reference, so I'm going to bring up where they're next to each other. Bear in mind, no one is likely to pause frames, so I think the immediate result is very difficult to tell. I'm going to say frustration 2, so the second video is the higher resolution. Side by side, we're on a very high resolution monitor anyway. I'm surprised. I would have thought that it would have been a bit easier than that. Is this going to be one where you're like, they're both high res? There's no difference. I think if I had to, but it's not with any real confidence. I'd say that second one.
Tell us.
So, the correct answer was number 1.
One.
You were right.
Highest definition. Oh, very good.
Look, to be honest, I couldn't really tell the difference.
It was very close. But you did rename them.
No.
I didn't.
Oh. Well, worth a try.
As I was watching it back now, I kind of changed my mind, but I don't know, like it could just be the certain scene that I was looking at. I only based my decision on literally just that one scene. On the nose, you can see details of the skin. Like, if you film anybody that close, you'll see all kinds of little things that you normally wouldn't. So I just thought it looked sharper, but...
See, I was looking at something, I think it was a hand or something, and on one, it looked more blurred around the fingers, but...
You got it wrong.
That's what I mean. That was my assumption that, oh, it's, you know, that must be lower res if it's slightly more blurred. That's what I put it down to, but that knowledge is out the window.
That was a tricky one when I shot because I was using the ND filter and then knocked half the stock down. And when I focus where to focus, I exactly ordered it off her finger. So that's what.
Ah.
Victoria, do you want to go in the shot so we can have you talking to them? Just the audio.
Hello, I was the guy off screen talking.
So do you think that is a telltale, something that's further away versus something that's closer?
It's, I would say so, but it's slightly like you have to judge the situation because in some shot, like take for example the one we had in the brief, where it was more when he got closer to the frame, you start picking up the detail, but when he was further away, you're losing detail. And it could play around the other way as well. Even when you're further away, you can pick up some detail in the background, and then when you're closer, you can do some details as well in the background. It's like, it works like a split diopter. You guys use a split diopter before? So basically, a split diopter,
of course.
It's like, it does like...
All the time.
Well, you tell us first. You tell us first. Do you know what one is?
A split diopter has like it creates like a blurry effect, and with the split diopter, like there's a huge gap in between the background where you can see in the background you'll notice slightly around the edge of the glasses it's in
yeah.
slightly, but when you like look at the other one, just the edge is in focus, but in the other one the edge is completely gone and you just see the glass.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to run the test next time. Come up with something else I can...
Do you guys think, for a beginner, it's worth getting an 8K camera?
No, not necessarily. Like I think, look, if you can get one, you know, get one. But ultimately, like, it all comes down to the device you're watching on. You know, when they started releasing 4K televisions, like a couple of years ago, it was all the rage to buy 4K TV, but we weren't actually outputting 4K content at the time. So it was like we were just watching 1080 upscaled to 4K, so we weren't actually watching true 4K. The cheeky fact of life actually, and I still can't believe a lot of people don't know this, but we don't actually watch 4K TV even now, because what we watch is 380/40 by 2160, so it's not actually 4K, it's just under 4K. When you look at it like that, it's not 100% necessary to always have full resolution, and if you really want to see the resolution, you have to have it on a device that makes it worthwhile anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to put it bluntly, I dislike it just purely because it's very high storage, and unless you've got the absolute latest top spec'd out machine possible, you struggle to get decent playback. Personally, I think it's just a lot easier to work with, say 4K, but even sometimes sort of echoing what Joey said, depending what you're watching on, you can even get away with 1080 for a lot of videos. But in terms of a workflow for me, 8K at this stage isn't really worth it for me.
Not for what we had here, and I think even on this size screen, coming back to Joey's point, I don't think it would have mattered what the content was here. On a TV at home, viewing things like action, drone footage, landscapes, large kind of scenes maybe, I know that I would seek out, and I can tell the difference when I watch footage that's in a lower res than when it's GoPro footage of someone skateboarding or skiing down a mountain.
I'm still gonna say 8K because, you know, I like making videos, so like, if I had an option, I'd always choose 8K.
To work with, I probably would go with 1080.
1080, but I would like to sit on the fence and say 4K is a nice middle ground. Like, even when that is adopted widely, we're not even anywhere near anyone having that many 8K TVs out there. You get the ability to zoom in and punch in on things, don't you,
Yeah,
when you're videoing 8K? That'd be one benefit, but no, if I had to put me on the spot to choose 1080, and then I'd quite like 4K.
That's probably a good point for me just to make, though. We'll edit this backwards.
No, I don't think I will.
You do have that option to punch into your shots, so you know, if your frame is slightly off and you just want to really get closer or go from a mid to a close-up shot, 8K footage will allow you to do that without, you know, all your footage going pixelated or anything like that.
Victoria, do you want to award Joey with prize?
Yes.
Basically can't eat any of these, so we'll share it with everybody. Everybody can have some in the office, can't they?
There you have it. Did you guess correctly? I hope you weren't cheating and I hope you paused, watched it and commented down below letting us know which you thought was which. Maybe we'll send you a box of Celebrations, maybe not. I'll think about it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and how about checking out videos? The link is always in the description box below. I'll see you next time. Bye.
That one is completely grainy, but that one we can still see a bit of detail. Do you see?
No.
No.